When you think about high-tech workplaces, rock quarries don't typically come to mind.
Slap this on.
But here in San Rafael, a robotic drone is taking off to survey and measure rock stockpiles. As the 5-pound unmanned aircraft flies along a pre-programmed route, it takes a photo every few seconds. It's part of a service offered by San Francisco startup SkyCatch, with a professional pilot and an engineer to track the drone's progress.
So it is following the path that you programmed for it.
That's exactly right. There's an autopilot on board that drone that's following the path that I've planned on my tablet here.
How does the drone know where it is?
We've got a very high accuracy GPS that's on that drone, as well as accelerometers, similar to what might be in your cell phone.
David Chen is Director of Engineering at SkyCatch.
The drone took about 700 photos in the morning. It took about 2 to 3 hours to process. What we end up with is a high-resolution 3D model of the entire site. It's accurate to the centimeter, and the clients can use this to measure volumes of stockpiles, changes on the terrain that they normally would take lots of time, like weeks for a human to manually measure. This is technology that didn't exist 2-3 years ago.
Changing how manual jobs are done is what drives SkyCatch CEO Christian Santz.
Drones will revolutionize how we do business. They're going to do a lot more jobs, and most of the jobs that are very dull, very dangerous, very hazardous are going to be done by drones, by robots.
I don't think we understand even 10% of the potential for drone applications in the United States or around the world that are doing mining type operations.
Jesse Kallman heads business development at Airware, a San Francisco startup that makes technology to automate drones for collecting aerial data.
A huge technical challenge for the industry today is automation. Automation is really what drives the ease of use, making sure that nearly anybody can use this, whether it's a cell tower climber, a claims adjuster, oil and gas workers.
Most drones sold in the U.S. are flown for fun by consumers who want to shoot aerial video or experience the thrill of flying. But for commercial use, an operator must get approval from the Federal Aviation Administration. The rules are strict and limit the drone to daytime flight below 500 feet and within view of the operator. But keeping a drone always within sight during missions can be limiting, says Kallman.
When you go beyond line of sight with one aircraft, you're able to cover a much wider area and space, and you're able to collect much more data in the same flight.
Drones are banned from flying over busy streets or in national parks, and privacy and safety regulations are still being worked out. Meanwhile, companies like Walmart and Amazon plan to use drones to track inventory and make deliveries.
Think about a scenario where Amazon wants to go in and deliver their packages, where Verizon wants to go and inspect their cell towers, where fire rescue needs to go in. How do all these different entities really manage who gets access to what airspace, who can fly when, where, how?
To tackle this challenge, Airware and other companies are working with scientists at the NASA Ames Research Center in Mountain View.
The main characteristics of drone traffic management are, first of all, drones don't hit each other. Second, drones don't get in the way of manned aviation. Third, the drone operator has complete awareness of all the constraints in the airspace, such as geofence areas.
Geofenced areas, like airports or city streets, are no-fly zones for drones. This system is being designed for commercial operations. Flight plans must be filed, and only one drone at a time can fly within the same airspace.
I specify a couple of parameters. For example, my flight number, what vehicle I'm actually going to fly, the start and end time. So this goes off to NASA and says, hey, is anyone else flying here? Can I reserve this time? And we got an approval, and it's ready to go.
While NASA and its partners keep developing the system, a Silicon Valley startup, Matternet, is already making deliveries by drone.
And now it will power up. And it's going to take about 90 seconds to show up on our cloud system. Okay. And then I can connect to it and instruct it through our mobile phone app here. It's ready to go. We can step back and press the takeoff button.
For this demo, the drone has to stay within view, as required by the FAA.
It knows exactly the obstacles, it knows the airspace, and we also know population density.
But it's not the U.S. where Matternet's drones are really taking off.
We as Matternet really believe in providing the capability to transport vaccines, medicine, blood in the developing world.
Around the world, 1 in 7 people lack access to reliable roads.
We saw in drones the fundamental invention that will allow us to create a new mode of transportation.
With Matternet's app, a user can launch the drone to send up to 2 pounds of payload, such as medicine, to a clinic about 12 miles away.
There is a need around the transportation of diagnostic samples for HIV/AIDS for children. And the average duration to transport those samples today in Malawi is almost 11 days. And with a system like this, you can do it well within a day.
Mapping software guides the drone to its destination, all without a human pilot.
10 to 20 years' time, there's going to be networks of these types of devices that will be transporting lightweight items in places in the developing world and in our cities and megacities.
The FAA is expected to release final rules for commercial drone operations by mid-2016.
That same level.
Meanwhile, entrepreneurs are hoping to put many more of these flying machines to work.
I think in 4 to 5 years, it's going to be the thing that is delivering your pizza, or the thing that's inspecting your cell tower, the thing that's actually saving people's lives after a tornado. It's just going to be a part of everyday life.